I think it was the 50-year reunion they were having up there.
I remember that.
And we played a show up there, and it was about 50 degrees and rain. And I remember we got done playing, and this gentleman in a sheriff's costume. This might be the only setting I can get away with that. But Mr. Dennis Whaley actually pulled me aside, and he looked me in the eye and he goes, "You're going to play at my funeral one day." And I really don't know how to describe that, because at that point in my life, I didn't believe in stuff like that. I don't really know how to describe it, you know. Looking back at that moment today compared to where it was then is a completely different point in my life. And I'm shaking because I don't even know what I'm going to say right now. I didn't prepare this. I don't know what today's going to bring. But I will say, in March of 2015, I was going through a divorce. I was in a relationship that was really bad. My sister moved to Cincinnati, and both my parents are passed away. And I remember I pulled into work one day, and I was bawling my eyes out because I didn't know where my life was going. And I said a prayer that morning to ask God to give me direction where I want to go in my life. And I didn't know what I was supposed to do, because the music industry for me at that point was just a party scene. There was a lot of drinking and just not good things in my life. And about 2 hours later, I got a phone call from Candy, who I've never spoke to before in my life, who I've never given my phone number to. And she called me crying because Dennis was in hospice, and you know, they weren't sure how much longer he was going to live. And I started crying because I felt God was speaking to me at that moment. And I was speechless, and Candy and I, we talked for like 30 minutes. And all I remember telling her is, you know, whatever's going to happen, we'll be there that day, we'll make it happen. And, well, the whole summer went by, and, you know, Candy and I became friends on Facebook, so I was kind of seeing some of the things that her and Dennis got to do. It looked like, to me, not ever meeting her, that Dennis got to fulfill a lot of things that he wanted to do before he passed away. And when she called me last week, I called my guys, and I was like, you know, our band's not really together. Our drummer had surgery, and you know, we just been writing original songs and, you know, working ourselves. And me personally, I've been working on my own life. And that's kind of why we're sitting here today. And Candy called me, and I said, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. I called these guys. They took days off of work, and so we can be here today. So that's kind of why we're sitting here. It's funny because I was driving here today. I was like, man, I haven't sang in front of people in a year and a half, and I got sick this week. I haven't been sick in a year and a half, and I'm like, that really stinks. And then I woke up yesterday and I like partially threw my back out, and I'm like, oh, that stinks too. It just isn't going good. But then, you know, I was driving here today and I realized none of that matters, because those are just small little things. But what matters is today that we're here together as a family, and we're celebrating Dennis's life. And his request was to make this a party. So, I don't know how much of a party these guys, I mean, this guy doesn't look like he's much fun, but I'm just saying. He is, he's a fun guy. But I'm going to introduce you to guys. His name is Tom Clark. We call him Tom Awesome because he's pretty awesome. And it's a great friend of mine who literally stood by my side after a poor decision I made in my life. He's the one guy that stood next to me through that whole time. So I'm proud to be sitting here with these guys, and that's kind of why we're here today. And we're here to celebrate Dennis's life. And I had one meeting with him my whole life, and you know, the guy, he thought he saw something in me that I didn't see at the time. So, you know, we're going to share some songs with you today. The first song that we'd like to do is a song written about my parents. And to Dennis's family out there, you know, to lose a dad, I understand what that feels like. We wrote this song in memory of my parents, and we want to dedicate it to you guys here today, okay? So,